Welcome to the Southeast Fall Training Conference of the YMCA Michigan Youth and Government Program. I'm your Youth Governor, Garrett Thorne, and I'm so excited to get this year of Youth and Government kicked off. I hope that all of you are finding this year's fee of $45 much more manageable and are encouraging many others to sign up and do YIG. None of this new fee would be possible without all of the YMCA staff's work and the late conference governor, Emma Macaluso's help to secure the grant. This year is going to be a really great year, and I can't wait to see a huge variety of bills about as many diverse problems as possible. The MEIG staff are working very hard to ensure that everyone is safe at MEIG and able to participate, whether it be online or in person with masks. So with a lot of certainty and excitement, I can say that we will be totally in person in the spring and safe too. On my agenda for this year is an attempt to be able to manage the ability to allow the MJP finals to be open to everyone and to help foster interconnectedness between the different branches of MEIG. Along with this, as many of you may know now, there will be new positions of leadership that will be elected during the same time as the main youth governor elections during the spring conference. This year is going to be very exciting, and I can't wait to read all of your bills and ideas this spring.
Hello, my name is Shaylin Goff, and I am running to be a National Issues Forum presiding officer. As a junior, I have been involved in NIF since I was a freshman, and that was the first year that I was able to come to Michigan Youth and Government at all. My delegation and our advisors have supported my efforts in National Issues Forum since the beginning, and I thank them dearly for it. NIF has given me a platform to advocate for great problems in the United States that need more attention, and I present my research through a plan of action. Last spring, I was honored to have my proposal, which shed light on the atrocities of the missing and murdered Indigenous women epidemic, and gave plans to open prosecution and investigation on tribal and federal levels, received the Most Outstanding Proposal Award. But aside from crafting and defending my own proposals, I am invested in listening to and learning from my peers during the forum. Participants come up with such innovative ideas, it makes me adore the entire experience. I'm a great selection as the presiding officer because of my experience debating in person and online, building intriguing and passionate proposals, and nurturing the community in NIF. Thank you so much, enjoy the rest of your day, and vote Shaylin Goff as National Issues Forum presiding officer.
Hello, Southeast Michigan Fall Conference. My name is Julia Wong of the Cranbrook-Kingswood delegation, and I am here to introduce one of the best and brightest members of our delegation as youth governor candidate. I have personally made so many wonderful memories, and I've met so many amazing people through Michigan Youth and Government. And of all those people, I can easily say that Nima Badam is the person I am most thankful to call my friend. In the time I have known her, I have seen Nima to have demonstrated not just incredible aptitude for outstanding leadership capabilities, but also that of a sincere kindness and intelligence found in very few people. She has always been incredibly helpful and incredibly willing to assist any members of our delegation in need, including myself on several occasions. From what I have seen and experienced, I know Nima to possess a certain level of patience and empathy that makes her a true asset to our delegation. And speaking of our delegation, from our meetings, I have seen Nima to be a fierce debater on issues of which she is passionate about, while remaining respectful and civil throughout. In a political climate as polarized as our own, her presence as an ideologically firm yet civil-minded mediator makes her the type of leader that Michigan Youth and Government needs. With this being her 6th year in Michigan Youth and Government and having served in several leadership positions throughout those years, I can also easily say that Nima has the experience and knowledge needed to be able to effectively lead this wonderful organization. This experience is reflected in the way she helps lead our delegation through her innovative approaches on expanding delegation recruitment, as well as her knowledge of parliamentary procedure. I can truly think of no better person to represent Southeast Michigan in our spring conference. And with all that being said, it is my pleasure to introduce my good friend, Nima Badam, as youth governor candidate.
Thank you, Julia, for that wonderful introduction. Hello, everybody. My name is Nima Badam, and today I have the absolute honor of being one of your candidates for youth governor. First off, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a junior at Cranbrook Schools in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. This is my 6th year of youth and government, and some of my hobbies include reading, writing, doing public forum debate, and of course, Michigan Youth and Government. Another thing that I'd say about myself as a person is that I love to pursue what I'm passionate about. This has ranged from doing campaign work for local politicians who espouse similar beliefs to me, to working on civics research projects with a professor at Wayne State University to analyze variables that may inhibit people in the city of Detroit from receiving proper medical care, to advocating for other platforms that I am passionate about, including mental health support, gun control, and increasing healthcare access. However, I'd say that my strongest belief is unity. Not unity in that we all believe in the same things, but unity in that we come together despite or even in spite of our differences. That we embrace the diversity that makes us unique and use our different perspectives to collectively make our community a better place. And never have I ever seen more political unity than at the Michigan Youth in Government Conference. Maybe it's because we're teenagers and we share that experience, but only at Michigan Youth in Government will you see two delegates that just went head to head in the chamber or the courtroom, going right out afterwards to grab lunch together in Lansing. Only at Michigan Youth in Government will you find entire legislatures collapse on couches after a long day at the Capitol. Unity is at the heart of Michigan Youth in Government, and it's what makes this program unique. At Youth in Government, we come together to fulfill and uphold the legacy of all the great people that came before us, that gave us the chance to have a say in our legal system. At Youth in Government, we claim our right to participate in our beautiful democracy. For the past 6 years, the Youth in Government Conference has been, without a doubt, one of the highlights of my year. Coming back together with new and old friends to debate the legislature that we're passionate about provides a thrill that never fades year after year. But I've got to say, my favorite memory from YIG was in my freshman year of high school. I had done the program for 3 years in middle school before, but arriving at the high school conference felt like a whole different experience. There were more people and more people that I didn't know. But I learned in middle school that the best way to approach YIG is to jump straight in. So I ran for Blue Lieutenant Governor and unexpectedly ended up being elected. That year, I formed incredible friendships with the people in the Blue Senate, many of whom are here today and who I'm very glad to see. My greatest goal as youth governor would be to support these types of amazing experiences for new and returning delegates alike. I believe that I'm qualified to run for youth governor because of the leadership experience that I bring. Not only have I been in YIG for 6 years, so I know the program like the back of my hand and have a well knowledge of parliamentary procedure, I have also served in multiple leadership positions like lieutenant governor and committee chair throughout my years. Not only that, I have leadership in other areas as well. I'm the managing editor of my school newspaper, a debate club officer, a student council rep, and a co-president of my school's chapter of Michigan Youth in Government. These experiences have shaped my view of what leadership is, not working above, but working with a team of people to make the most efficient use of everyone's individual talents. I've also learned the importance of honesty and communication while leading and would absolutely bring these qualities to office if I'm elected as youth governor. Now that you know a little bit about me, if I was elected youth governor, I would want to learn more about all of you, what you care about and what you believe in, and what I can do to make you all feel more represented and understood in the coming year. Things have only become more polarized in the status quo, so it's important to still talk with each other in good faith and the understanding that the world isn't black and white. And there's no better place to do that than at Michigan Youth in Government. Especially since last year's conference was online and we didn't get to see each other face to face, coming back even stronger is important for the next couple of years. Let's prove that the spirit of YIG is indomitable, that this unique program will persevere through the challenge of this pandemic and the challenges of years to come. To accomplish this, I have a few ideas in mind. First, more inter-program unity. I think we should all come together, LEDGE, MJP, NIF, and everyone else several times throughout the conference to regroup and share our experiences. Next, I'd like to arrange mentoring sessions between returning delegates and new delegates so that they may receive advice. From personal experience, your first year at YIG can be scary, but when you have somebody to talk to and somebody to ask questions, it is less so. And finally, a last change that I propose would be to organize interdelegation prep sessions prior to the spring conference, so that delegates from different schools can receive feedback and bounce ideas off of one another and just get to know each other a little better. Because after all, there's no community like the YIG community. To conclude, we are still living through unprecedented times, and I recognize that each and every one of you has probably been through a lot in the past year and a half. But we've persevered, and I know that we'll continue to do so again and again and again. It's every single one of you that makes this program worthwhile, so thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be here today, and I would greatly appreciate it if you voted Nima Badam for youth governor.
For true success, ask yourself these questions. Why? Why not? Why not me? Why not now? James Allen. To me, the question why not summarizes what the Michigan Youth in Government Conference means. Why not take up a leadership role? Why not share your bill with a fellow delegate? Why should you not speak up in the House or Senate? Let me further explain by taking you back to my freshman year. when my then delegation leader mentioned leadership in Michigan Youth in Government. I was immediately wary. I had practiced with Parley Pro and went to the middle school conference before. But still, I silenced those positive thoughts, being sure that someone with more experience could do it, and put the idea to the back of my mind. Without a doubt, as soon as I came to that resolution, my delegation leader asked me if I was running. When I told her I wasn't sure if I should or could, she asked me this important question: why not? So, as a freshman, I answered that ever-important question with the question itself: why not? That same year, I was elected Speaker of the House, and since then, I've loved every moment of Michigan Youth in Government I've had. This program has helped me grow so much, and that's why I'm happy to say that I, Tanya Brown, am running to be your Michigan Youth in Government Youth Governor. As your Youth Governor, I want to continue to make youth in government a place to challenge ourselves and grow, like it has been for me. As we shift from virtual to in-person, it will be important for me as your Youth Governor to work to rebuild this aspect of Michigan Youth in Government and have each and every one of you be a part of it. This is our conference, and we can work to make it the way we want it to be. By getting to know the different program areas and hearing from you all about what you would want to see new to the conference is a start. One of the most important things about this conference is that it's open. As your governor, this openness will be key to me when it comes to making the conference the best that it can be. Another part of challenging ourselves is to be prepared for any challenge. By providing more interactive resources to increase new delegate confidence with parliamentary procedures, every delegate can be ready for any challenge. The more familiar our delegates are with Parley Pro, the quicker we can dive headfirst, exploring topics and issues in our state and respective program areas. But not only that, making sure this conference is a place to ask questions, so if there ever is a time one of us feels lost, we can always ask for help. From a social aspect, we should challenge one another to get to know one another, to step outside of our comfort zone and learn from someone new. To start, I would suggest strengthening and investing more time in our small groups to encourage delegates to meet others and improve networking. One of my favorite things about the Michigan Youth in Government Conference was the small groups. Being able to learn about different program areas, sharing stories from our day in life, it makes the conference feel like what it should be, a community. There's a little magic in meeting someone you've never met from a place you've never been and sharing the good, the bad, and the in-between that is your life. Coming together is one of the most important parts of our conference, and strengthening small groups is one step towards it. Lastly, I will work to encourage more new delegates to be active in the conference. This conference pushed me to be the best version of myself early on, and I want that experience for everyone coming. Whether you start an important discussion, speak up for what you believe in, or just make a new friend, I want to do my part to make sure every delegate walks away from this conference feeling like they accomplished something. To put it all in one, it will be my goal to make youth in government a place to say why not, to carry optimism and boldness into all our pursuits, and shape this conference into what we want it to be, so that every delegate feels proud of themselves when they're ready to leave and to come back next year. From early on, we're taught that to win big, you have to take big risks. As your youth governor, it will be my main goal to help each and every delegate get the most out of this conference, to take a risk and to say why not. It's been one of the greatest opportunities of my life to be a part of this conference, so thank you all for taking my candidacy into consideration. I can't wait to start this new phase of challenging ourselves and growing together. So remember, vote Tanya Brown as your next Michigan Youth in Government Youth Governor.
Hi, I'm Ryan Lewis, and I'm running for the office of Youth Governor. YAGE has always been a place where people from all over the state of all sorts of different backgrounds can come together and discuss ideas that they think are genuinely going to make our state and our nation a better place to live in. With your help and your support, I'm going to continue to make that a reality for everybody, as well as building on the success that we've had in past years. First, I'm going to start with only signing common sense bills, not based on my own personal ideology or experiences, but based on whether they simply make sense and whether they can reasonably be implemented. I'm also going to support these bills in the legislature and ensure that they have the votes they need to reach my desk for my signature. I'm also going to encourage open debate. And as part of that open debate, I think it's absolutely crucial that we make sure that everybody feels that they're accepted within the MEIG organization, regardless of gender identity, race, religion, or sexual orientation. With your help and your support, as well as your vote, we're going to continue to make YIG the wonderful place that it's been for so many years.
My name is Krisha Ramani, and I'm running to be your late conference youth governor. 3 years ago, I walked into my first legislative committee session with absolutely nothing prepared. Like, true story, I walked in, looked around the room at the other freshmen who seemed to know what they were doing, sat myself down in a chair, and shut my mouth for the rest of the session. And unless you're Dominic Woods, most of you have had the same origin story. I'm sure you can all recall a moment where you felt lost. But the wonderful thing about youth in government is that you don't feel that way for long. No matter what, you always find someone to connect with. And that's because of the culture we've created here. It's a community, one of support and understanding. And I know for some of you, you've only ever been to the conference virtually. And trust me, in-person youth in government is all of that and more. I'm so excited to get back to in-person conferences because we can build that community back. And with the new grant opportunity that we have, it is the job of future governors to expand access to the areas where delegations have grown smaller. In the Southeast, that means eCourse, Northville, DCDS. Expanding youth in government's reach across the state will always be a priority. Whether this means helping delegations with marketing campaigns to bring in new members or bugging advisors at new schools to begin MEIG delegations, we have the power to strengthen not only Southeast Michigan, but the state as a community. And there's also a bigger piece to this puzzle, building lasting ties between youth in government and the actual legislature. For those of us in NIF and LEG, we all know just how long it takes to get our bills and proposals passed and in LEG's case, signed by the governor. And the ideas that we have deserve to be heard, not just by our peers, but by legislators with actual decision-making power. Over the last year, I've had the privilege of working with State Representative Robbie's office to create a bill that amends Michigan's current civics curriculum. My experience in lobbying for the bill has taught me that legislators are willing to hear from us. There is space for us to turn NIF proposals and legislative bills into actual enacted Michigan legislation. As governor, I will make it a priority to strengthen our connection with the Michigan legislature so that we can build a bigger table. Whether that means bringing senators and reps into policy meetings or just scheduling breakfasts with legislators we can all attend. And even though I didn't get the chance to use my voice at my first conference, let's change that. Let's continue to build a supportive environment so that we bring confidence to our spring conference. Again, I'm Krisha Ramani, and I'm running to be your late conference youth governor. Thank you.
Thank you so much for attending the virtual fall conference. You can now vote if you scroll down below and use the election code on your screen.